Okay, I hope I am live now. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Welcome to the Soul Infused Monday show. Sorry, for some reason, first I had audio and then I was keep talking, and suddenly I realized that I wasn't online anymore. Okay, I'm online now. Okay, fantastic. Okay, my apologies. So because it kind of threw me off and I'm just coming back in, I will give it another moment. Really sorry, my apologies. Technology, what can we do? I'm going to wait for a moment for people to be able to jump in. And Ashley, if you're watching this, invite them, send messages, let them know. Anyone who commented on my previous live, please send them an invite. Working. Okay. Okay. Ashley, do you hear me? Yes, good morning. Lynn, okay, good morning. I'm having a delay, not because I am late, it's because I was already live and it didn't work out, but I'm live now. And if you're here, please give it another 60 seconds for people to be able to join back in. And please send me some love so that the computer and the internet and the audio is all working now fine. Okay? Topic for today is how to protect your energy and create space, especially now during quarantine. I can hear you now. Perfect. Okay. Please invite anyone you know that has been here. Yes, loud and clear. Fantastic. Thank you for sticking here with me. Please invite anyone that kind of fell off the wagon or fell off the computer. Nobody fell, actually, but another week in isolation. So I do not know what you heard before. So if I repeat myself, just bear with me. Yeah, repetition is okay. And again, I've been isolated for several weeks now. I don't even know how many now. So I'm all by myself. Sometimes, you get a little silly when you're all by yourself. And one announcement in case you didn't hear it before, very important. Next Monday, I have Beth Daniel live on my show. We tried it before a while back, didn't work live. And we're going to talk, Beth Daniel does very high advanced energy medicine. And we're going to talk about how to prevent, go through the whole COVID-19 virus. So make sure you come next Monday. Super, super help. Like, it's going to be amazing. And Beth Daniel is a very, very dear friend of mine and one of the people that I go to when I need help. So high level energy medicine and work. Okay. Tina, Doreen, Ellen, Lynn, thank you for your comments. Please leave the comments so that I know you're actually still hearing me, and send me some love. Everybody is experiencing this quarantine differently. Some of you are all by yourself, like me. Some of you are with family members, some of you are with friends, some of you are maybe in a totally different situation, some of you might still working, some are might not. So this topic is specifically valuable or interesting or important if you are around people. However, even if you're not, like me right now, it's relevant because how to protect your energy and how to create space for yourself is a topic totally beyond the coronavirus, totally beyond the quarantine. However, I would like to know before I dive into how you protect yourself and how to actually really create space, even when you maybe think, hey, I don't have any time. I have 3 kids running around me. I have a husband. I have a job. Like maybe you feel like there's no way I can create space for myself right now. Even then, there's a way. So that's the good news. So how are you experiencing this, and how is this topic relevant to you in your life right now? Just tune in for that for a moment. Tune in for a moment and think about for yourself, like how is this relevant to you right now? How are you with your energy around people? How are you in terms of creating space for yourself during this time? And I wanna take a look here real quick. What people say. I'm finally here. Natalie, hello. Yes. Okay. Even though when you are maybe with family right now or friends or people around you, it is very comforting. It can be very fun. It can create new memories that you will laugh about at some point because this shall pass. At the same time, it can create a lot of overwhelm, tension, and discomfort because maybe you're not used to hang out all the time and you don't even know if that what you're feeling is yours or theirs. It's very difficult to disentangle sometimes energetically. So it can be very stressful as well. So that's why it's important to protect your energy. And the one thing that's important to understand first is that you are an energy being and you are constantly streaming and receiving. You are like everything is substance. So if you see it or not, you are influenced constantly by the energies that are outside of you and by your own energies inside, right? So, and if you're an empath or highly sensitive, you might actually relate to the fact that you might absorb other people's energies and you feel like sometimes maybe helpless or overwhelmed. And I want you to know that even I am a highly sensitive person. So if you want to call it an empath, whatever you want to call it, and yet there is a way to protect yourself, because it's not so much about what's outside coming to you, it's what you are doing with what's coming towards you. Does that make sense? And I just want to make sure that you guys really hear and see me today. Yes, very relevant right now. I've been good, but have sent undercurrent almost a headache. It's really stubborn. Yeah. And Shasha, thank you for sharing that. Let me share some, like I was talking to a friend the other day and she was sharing with me, oh my God, Sonia, I'm so tense. I feel so anxious right now. I feel overwhelmed. I don't even know why. And there wasn't like an obvious reason. She was fine. She was good. Everything was fine. But she felt like, oh my God, something is going on. Right? So I checked in with her and talked with her and I felt like, okay, take a breath and tap into what was underneath. And what was underneath is that she really didn't have space for herself. And she was just taking on her own stuff, obviously, but also from others. Because energetically, when you don't create space for yourself, you shrink energetically. And it hits then layers of emotions that consciously you might not be even aware of. You don't think, hey, I'm not anxious right now, but your system is kind of tense and your system is in an overwhelmed state without you maybe even knowing. When you don't create space for yourself, your system shrinks. And I want you to know that and I've talked to a lot of women lately, and a lot of women specifically have this issue, maybe not only, but a lot of women have a hard time asking for what they need and creating space for themselves. Moms as well. Like not only moms, but moms often even more. They have a hard time taking them time for themselves, creating space for themselves, and putting themselves as number one. If you don't do that though, so here's the thing, often there's a belief behind it, like I'm selfish, it's not good, I'm a bad mom, or whatever it is, or I don't know how, I'm afraid of rejection. There's so much stuff coming up. So you want to deal with what's coming up for you, right? And at the same time, you're not doing anyone a favor if you don't create space for yourself and if you don't protect your own energy. Protecting your own energy and creating space goes hand in hand. You cannot protect your own energy if you're not aware of your own space. If you don't have space, you cannot really protect your energy because you're already overwhelmed. So you want to create space first, right? Energetically, by really pushing your energy out, creating space, breathing, but also verbalizing that you are taking space. Communication is key to this matter. You got to communicate with the people around you, because if you don't, you're going to resent, they're not understanding, you're going to fight even more. It's going to create more overwhelm and stress. Right now, simple, honest communication is more important than ever. Okay? Simply saying something, I feel overwhelmed right now. I do need some space. I'm just going to go into this room for 10 minutes. Just going to do something to breathe, to relax, and then I'll come back. Please, is that okay if I take 10 minutes undisturbed? You can tell that your children, your husband, whoever that is. Communication is key. If you don't ask, you won't get it. No one is a mind reader. Most people are not. I'm an energy reader, so often I know what's going on, but most people are not. So you got to communicate to protect your own self, to protect your energy, and to create space. Okay, let me check the comments, and please let me know if this makes sense. If this is relevant to you, if this makes sense, and if this is helpful, click the love button right now. Click the love button right now, because I will see it, hopefully. Okay, and if you have a question, please leave a comment below. This is your time, this is your opportunity where I can give you real feedback on your current situation, because everybody's going through something different. I usually try to avoid people and put up boundaries and say no, and I retreat to my own private room. Yeah, that's good. And at the same time, often when we are all by ourselves, we still feel the energy. So you got to do it even when you're by yourself. But it gives you space to step out of people. Like, let's say you are with people right now, that I'm assuming right now that this is relevant. Family, kids, friends, whoever. You want to step out of the same room. You want to create literally some physical space. And if you're living in it's so easy to come up with, oh, I cannot do it for whatever reason. Even if you live in a 1-bedroom apartment with 10 people, you can go outside the door and you can take turns every 10 minutes. Like, I'm serious. You got to create it if that's an overwhelming issue for you. Hi, Misha. Amy's saying, I need more space, 6 kids and a hubby, full-time work. Yeah, Amy. Oh my God, Amy, I hear you. I'm with you. I total respect and honor. So right now I invite you and anyone else who feels this way to just, even in this moment, just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, and for a minute even only, disentangle. Like, allow yourself to put everything outside. And you want to create moments. You know, if it's really hard right now, I'm not talking about you taking 3 hours of your time for yourself. 5 minutes, 1 minute is often enough to kind of like keep it to a state that you can actually function and you're not just totally overwhelmed. Just breathing for you, Amy. Thank you for sharing. Dolene is home with husband and cat. I'm rather lonely and angry at times. Yeah, that's definitely a different topic that I talk about a lot. Maybe today it's not so much about what it is, but to have some space, I'll go to my room, take a drive, work in the yard, or take a walk on the walk. Yeah, that's fantastic. Great tips here from Dolene as well. Take some space, go to a different room, go out for a walk if you're allowed to. Otherwise, go up and down the stairs. Like, open up a window and look outside and unplug. It's the intention, is the commitment that will make the first. Okay, got it. Yeah, Amy. It makes sense. I'm just bored as hell. Yeah, I don't know. If you're bored, give me a call. I have plenty to do for you, Natalie. But let's talk about this for a second. I'm bored. Usually when we're bored, we feel like we're not doing something meaningful. So Natalie, for you and anyone else that is having that issue about I'm bored, usually it's like I'm not doing something meaningful and I feel disconnected. And so when you have that thought of, hey, I'm bored, just tune in and say, hey, do I have space? Am I connected? And if not, what can I do that would give me a sense of meaning? I think that's often underneath the feeling of boredom. Let me know if this resonates with you, Natalie. Running out of things to do when I'm alone. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I'm not saying it's easy. There's a topic for another time. I talked about a lot about this lately and will more about how to really be by yourself after a couple of weeks. That's a topic that's coming very, very soon. Next week, Beth Daniels is going to be my special guest, so make sure to come here to see how energy medicine can help with COVID-19. And then I'm going to definitely talk about for those people who are alone. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so let's recap. How to protect your own energy. First of all, you got to make a decision that you want to do that. First of all, you got to recognize that it's important. It's not something that miraculously will just appear, and it's a skill you got to learn. However, your intention and your focus is already the first step. That's how you do it. You first say, hey, I need some space. I want to protect my energy, meaning I'm aware of my energy, and you are taking 100% responsibility. That's a tough one right now, especially when there's so many, people and stuff, and it's easy to blame and judge each other. And you want to avoid that. That's why you need also to create space. When you're not creating space, everything is entangled like this. Everything will cook up. Resentment, blame, judgment, with the people that you love. And it's not that it's all the time, but you want to avoid those moments and to keep them as short as possible. So number one, take responsibility for your own energy. You are responsible for your own energy, no one else. And if you're having a hard time protecting yourself, then you got to learn that, right? That's what I do all day long. I mean, not all day long, thank God. I'm not working all day long. I've been doing energy work for over 20 years, and I help people to really connect with themselves so that they can have their own energy, right? So you want to work on that. You want to take responsibility. You want to set the intention. You want to set a commitment, and then you want to communicate it. You want to communicate that you need space. And when you have thoughts like, and Amy, thank you again for sharing, like, I have 6 kids, a husband, and a job. Like, I don't even know how to do that. I hear you. And you modify it, and you organize it, and you communicate it. And you sit down with your husband and your kids, for example, or only your husband, depending on how old the kids are, and say, okay, let's make a plan here. Like, how can we make it work that you have some space and I have some space, and we also have quality time and quality time with each other? Because you might be afraid, and I'm sharing this story because the friend that I was talking to about is also like, when we don't communicate, often we are afraid to hurt the other person, to say, hey, I need my own space, or you are afraid of rejection or what they're going to think of you. These you gotta deal with those fears. But here's the reality, that if you feel this way, most likely anyone around you feels very similar. And your husband and your kids would like to have a break too. I'm going to let that sink in for some. I just felt not for everyone, but someone here right now needed to hear this. That if you feel this way, the people around you most likely feel similar, and they also want to have a break. So instead of feeling bad or guilty, to see it from a, hey, this is a win-win situation for everyone. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, I hear you, Natalie. I really understand. Barbara is saying, I'm here and just seeing and hearing you helps to remind us to use your tools and think in a different way. Feel much better dealing with stress. Thank you, Barbara. I really appreciate it. Okay, so there's way more to say, obviously, but I just wanted to put it out there. So for today, what I would really suggest is tune in, take a breath, and take notice, take responsibility, set the intention to protect your energy, to create space, and to communicate it, so that you actually can create also the space on a physical level. And if fears are coming up, if beliefs are coming up, my number one invitation is be honest about it. It's easier said than done to communicate honestly, because it's clouded through fear, it's clouded through other emotions and woundings from the past. So it's easier said than done. However, you got to start at some point. You can start as simple as, and I'm using an example of one of the women that I talked recently about sharing with her husband. It's like, I'm actually afraid of even saying this, and it might come out really awkward, but here's the reality. I feel overwhelmed. I need some space for myself. I have no idea how to do it, but I need to get started. And I just wanted to communicate that, because otherwise I'm going to freak out at some point and I'm going to lash out at you. And you don't even know why, for some stupid superficial reason. But the reality is, I need some space. Please help me to create that, because I don't know. Like whatever your reality is, whatever your truth is, be honest to yourself first. Just be honest to yourself. Like, hey, my kids are annoying the hell out of me right now. Just be honest with yourself right now. Yeah, of course. I mean, we are all human. We are all human. You're not alone with this. I have yet to find a mom that I've spoken to hundreds of moms all over the world. I have yet to find one mom that doesn't feel sometimes like, oh my God, I want to kick my kid out of the curb. It's like, oh my God, I'm so annoyed. I just, right? And then we feel guilt. But no, everybody feels this way sometimes. That's okay. Be honest to yourself first. Take a breath. Take responsibility. Connect in. Create the space for yourself so that you can be human again, that you can be present again, that you can actually connect again. And be honest about it. communicate it. Like, hey, I have such a pressure on my chest. I think I'm exploding inside, and I feel even guilty that I feel this way. But I just want to go out for 10 minutes and breathe. Is that okay with you? Yeah, some of you don't have that issue. Like, you take what is relevant for you. Okay? And again, it's not only about quarantine. If you're not able to set healthy boundaries, to create your own space, and to protect your energy, it will affect every area of your life. Okay, talking lots. Is this valuable, guys? If you learned something or if something is valuable to you, please hit the love button right now or the like button, because then that's a little bit how I can get feedback. Even though, funny enough, Facebook changed that in some ways. Okay, so I hope it was valuable for you. If it was, take a moment to tune in and ask yourself, what's the most valuable thing? What is the most valuable thing you're hearing me say? What is landing for you? What's the most valuable? What's your takeaway from this show today? And leave a comment below. And while you do that, and please do that for yourself to anchor it, do it for me as feedback, and also do it for others, because everybody's somewhere experiencing something, and you sharing might actually touch someone else. You have something to give, even though you think it might not be valuable, or you might think, oh, it's not so relevant. Yeah, it's relevant to me to hear what's actually landing for you, because I'm doing this for you, and I'm in this with you. Even though I'm alone, you have 6 kids, 10 dogs, 5 husbands, whatever your situation is. We're together in this. How to protect energy when around lots of people. Yeah, it's a skill to learn over time. And if you're having a hard time doing that now, Jules, if you're not able to do that yet, you get to learn that, and then do what you know. Remove yourself from the group for a moment. You can go to the restroom or something. Center yourself, connect to your center, breathe, get back to center, present, and then go out again. And you might have to do that several times. This is a skill that it's not just too easy to learn overnight, but one thing that you can do is breath. Imagining that you kind of disentangle from it, and then remove yourself, go to the restroom or to another room. Go when you get a drink, you use your hands and you just consciously connect to yourself and visualize that you disentangle energetically. Try that out, Jules, and let me know if that helps. Most valuable, take responsibility. Yes. And I know it's not always easy. Hey, I'm with you. And at the same time, you are responsible. I am responsible. Everybody's responsible. Most responsible here for Amy, take responsibility and ask for space. Yeah, oh my gosh, yes, ask for it. Especially with women, that we are by nature more intuitive, because, we bear children, we gotta kind of be more connected. We often assume that others know, and we expect them to just give us the space without us asking. No, we gotta ask. You are responsible. And usually people are happy to support us if we ask for it. So just ask for it. Yes, be honest, ask for it. Take space, be free, and then I'm able to give back. Yeah, very, very, very true. If you are overwhelmed and anxious and full of resentment, somehow not able to communicate, your whole energy system is like this. You're not going to be a support to anyone. So free yourself up and give others space as well. Yeah, when you create space, for those who feel guilty, I'm curious, who feels guilty? Who feels guilty of taking space? For you, if you are feeling guilty about this, when you create space for yourself, you are actually giving space to someone else. And this person might need that as much as you. You believe you're selfish? No, you're actually very caring. You're very caring with your own energy and with the other person, because the other person might not want to hang out with you all the time, 24/7 either. The only person that gets to be 24/7 all the time is yourself. Like Sonia is with me 24/7. There's no escaping. And that's okay because I love myself. However, even then it's kind of other people don't want to be immersed in your energy all the time. So stop feeling guilty and take care of yourself because you're doing them a favor too. Okay, let me list. And if you have, I'm gonna go through the comments and then I'm gonna say bye. Remember, next week I have Beth Daniel as a guest in my show. So come show up live, talking about how energy medicine can support, prevent, help with the COVID-19 virus. So you want to be there. And after the comments, I'm gonna say bye bye. So if you have a question, let me know. That most valuable thing is say it out loud, communicate. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, and I remember us talking about it. Yeah, so valuable. Made such a difference for you too. You're great. You're doing great. Face fear head on. Yes, great takeaway. You're welcome, Jules. The most valuable thing, take responsibility for my energy and communicate. Oh, I'm so happy this is landing for you. Take responsibility and communicate. Oh my gosh, this is crucial. Tell my husband I just need to take my own space, breathe, and have my own quiet time, not to be doing for him. He has some health issues. Yes, Barbara. Oh my gosh, and you're not the only one. I know so many resonate with you. Especially when we take care of someone else, we sometimes also feel guilty about. But even that person who needs your care wants to have some space sometimes. And if you communicate it, they also don't feel abandoned. Or, communication is so crucial because here's the reality of things. We constantly assume. I'm going to just begin to this for a moment. It's getting long, but whoever stays, stays. One of the practices I practice over the years, and I really train myself over and over because it's a daily routine, is like to not assume. Do not assume what other people think, to not assume what other people need. Don't assume if they judge you or not, if they like what you do or not, because you don't know really unless they tell you. You really don't know. You might have a feeling, you might be intuitive, and I am as well, but it's like we assume. So if we don't communicate, you assume all the time. And I would say 99%, we are not assuming the right. May let it be 90%, let's be gracious. 10% we might be right. But most of the times, what you're assuming is not right anyway, because you don't know unless they tell you. So maybe someone is not responding to you, and then you believe, oh my God, they're ignoring me, I did something wrong, they don't like me anymore, or whatever our assumption is, right? And then maybe they were in a hole, maybe they felt ashamed, maybe they were overwhelmed, maybe that had nothing to do with you, but the whole story that we make out of it. So when we communicate and saying, hey, that you didn't respond to me was uncomfortable, I wasn't so sure. The story that I was making up is that you don't care about me. So I wanted to communicate that because I don't want to be in that energy, and most likely it's not even true. So I wanted to check in with you, right? Communicate, talk about it. And I know it's not easy, it's a skill you got to learn, but hey, one step at a time. And what a great opportunity right now if you are confined with a lot of people and you cannot escape all the time. Don't escape, communicate. Why can't they see my needs? I see theirs. That's a great question, Amy, and a lot of women can relate to that. And first of all, I hear you. I acknowledge that. And I honor that. At the same time, the question comes from a wounded place of feeling like not seen, not heard, not supported, not respected, whatever comes for you underneath. The why they don't makes no difference. They just don't. Because they don't. As it's like if I would say, and it's not the greatest metaphor here, so don't take it too literal, but it's like, hey, I speak Spanish, why don't they speak Spanish? I can read energy, why can they not read energy? Because they can't, for whatever reason. It's not about them knowing, it's about you taking a stand for yourself, you honoring yourself enough to communicate your needs and give them the opportunity to actually give it if they are available. It's an act of kindness and love, and at the same time honor the feeling of the pain if you don't get it. But if it's a recurring issue, then look inside and see, hey, how can I be and communicate so my needs get met more often. Does that make sense, Amy? Let me know if this is resonating. It's a really good question, and I hear you. I really hear you. But what's coming up for me is as well, and it's a very female archetype pattern, as give, 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 and then we expect to receive, but we don't, and then it gets into that loop. So you got to watch out to not give too much and to also receive. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, don't assume, communicate. Yes, I forgot this. Okay, so I think we're good. I don't see any more questions. Thank you for being here today. Remember to come back next Monday. I have a live guest, Beth Daniel. So grab your phone right now. If you're on your phone, you don't grab your phone, but you grab it anyway. Set an alarm right now for next Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. You want to be part of this. You're very welcome, Amy. And if you need any more help, just reach out to me. Send me a message. I'm happy to help you. Okay, guys, have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for hanging in there with me for so long. And I'm sending you much love. Bye.